Color is all around us. Color shapes how we feel and how we navigate the world around us. And also, it shapes our environment. Think about your favorite color. I bet that you have something around you right now that has your favorite color on it. I also probably bet you're probably wearing your favorite color. Welcome to the color chapter. In this chapter, I teach you how to notice color and how to utilize color in order to take great, stunning photos. Let's get started. One thing you should know about color is that the world around us is based upon these colors. These are the primary colors. These colors within our environment, they tend to be nice and bold and very vibrant. Colors will either make or break your image. This is why it's really important for you to look around and scan your environment before you actually take a photo. Right here, this is downtown Chicago. And look at the colors that stand out. Primary colors. We have this, the Chicago iconic Chase sign. And then we have the Walgreens logo. And then we have spots of blue. I like this image, but the fact that the Walgreens logo here stands out the most and it's competing with the Chicago logo, this photo is not good for me. So when it comes to landscape photography, you have to think about what is it that you care about showing in your image. So in this shot, I need to recompose my photo because in order to get exactly what I want, because right here, there's too many colors competing with actually what I want to get out of the photo. Here's an example of a shot taken in the city that accurately uses color for the landscape photography. Here, when you're looking at this image, the thing that stands out the most is the yellow boat. If there was a yellow car somewhere, it would have completely taken the image out. If there was a person wearing a yellow jacket, guess what? That person would have been the focus point. But because this boat is yellow and everything else around it is a grayish, tinted bluish color, it automatically makes the boat stand out. So when photographing landscape, it's very, very important that you look within your environment and decide the colors, and also you can always compose your photo, making sure that whatever is in the frame is actually the things that you want in the frame. How do you utilize color when taking portraits? It's actually quite simple because when taking portraits, what actually matters is your background and your subject. So based on the color of the background, make sure that it doesn't clash with your subject. Here's a prime example. This picture was taken out and about in the city. So I have our background is this building in the back and the color of it's red. And then our subject, our main focus point, it's the guy right here with the bike and he's wearing a white sweater. He stands out the most because he's wearing a lighter color and we see that the sky is nice and blue. So there's not really competing with colors there. And remember that when we talked about layering, so our foreground is the gentleman right here within the bike. And then our middle ground, it's the trees. And then our background is the building in the back. So the concept of layering is really important because when you layer things within your images, you not only allow for the distinguish of colors to show, but it also allows the viewer to really scan your image and take in the full extent of what you want them to show. Let me show you another example of how you can utilize color when taking a portrait. Here in this photo, we have the model standing right in the middle of the shot. Well, she's more towards the right side. Remember when we talked about this concept, foreground, middle ground, background? So our model, she's in the middle ground because our foreground, we have this little loop around, this little, the trees that's put together in a loop, in a circle, that is. So on the left side, you notice there's a yellow leaf, a yellow squash, big squash design. That yellow squash is vibrant is more vibrant compared to the model, what the model is wearing. She's also wearing yellow. But guess what else is near the model? The blue walls, the blue frame within the walls. Because that's there, our eyes are going to go to the primary color that's bold and nice and strong. And that's what we're going to see first. So positioning the model there allows for the viewer, you and I, to take in this photo a lot more. And we're looking at it from the model's perspective. We look at the model first, then we go to the surroundings because that blue is right there. Let's go another example and see how color can shape or break your image. When I was taking this photo, it took me forever to find the right background because this gentleman was wearing a red jacket and everything around me is either gray or green tint. I had him sit down and look at the color that he's wearing, the red jacket. And then I chose the background exactly because I didn't want any of the colors to compete with this red. I wanted him to stand out, so I chose the Starbucks that was painted black. You don't have to go to a studio in order to find good backgrounds. You just have to look at within your environment, decide what works for that image, what works for your subject based upon what they're wearing. Photos of color is by stepping outside and just taking photos of flowers. Flowers have so much detail. Like nature around us is yelling at us, please admire me, take photos of me. Because the elements and the flowers are so beautiful. And I spent majority of the year just taking photos of flowers using my phone. There's a trick to it, actually, and I want to show you. One way you can go out and actually practice taking photos of color is by just going outside. I know that the world right now has way more restrictions when it comes to travel, but going outside in your backyard or just your neighborhood and being around nature is one way you can actually just look around and be amazed by what the earth has to offer. And I always picture that nature is yelling at us, hey, look at me, admire me, I'm here. So what I've been doing for the last year is just taking photos of flowers. And the way that I've been doing it has been quite different. To get the best flower photo, I want you to start using Flash. Here, I'll show you how I did it. Tap my screen where I want to focus. It can be right in the center. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it so that it hits one of the intersection points. So I'm going to focus them right there. I'll bring down the brightness. And when you see the AE and AF, that stands for auto lock, auto focus lock, and an auto exposure lock as well. So that way when I move my camera around, it doesn't change the exposure. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to turn on the flash and I'm going to take a photo. Oh, I don't have flash yet. I'm going to turn on the flash right there, turn it on. I'm going to take a photo. And look at that. We have so much detail in this photo. Let's do this again. I want to make sure that this actually is my center. Let me see if I can get closer. Let's get like a macro shot. Well, I can just click on the 2.5. There it is. Awesome. Let's make it right in the center. I'm gonna have my AE and AF lock turned on. I'm gonna take a photo just to see the comparison. That's with flash, and let's not use flash. Now let's look at the difference. This photo is with flash. Sorry, this photo isn't without flash, and this one is with flash. Look how much detail we're getting with the image with the flash on. Here's some examples of photos that I've taken throughout the year. Please enjoy. Here's some of the photos I've taken throughout the year.